You have 1 minute to complete this problem.
No. I did it.
If you achieved an answer of A, please move on to the next question. If you are unsuccessful in obtaining this answer, please continue to watch the instructional video that follows. The last two problems, 6 and 7, are pretty tricky. Remember, again, we're going after the quickest way to solve this. So I'm given two equations and I'm told they're perpendicular. I want to go over that just as a quick review. That means the slopes have negative reciprocals, also sometimes known as opposite reciprocals. What that would look like is if I said the slope of one line is 2 over 3, then the slope of a second line, if it's perpendicular, would be negative 3 over 2. You take whatever you have, you flip it, and you change the sign. Another example could be if I was given negative 1 over 5, and I said, what is the slope of an equation that's perpendicular? You flip it, and you change the sign. Negative 1 over 5 becomes positive 5 over 1. Okay, keep that in mind. So look at the first equation, and all I'm concerned about is the slope. So I don't care about these additional numbers. All I'm concerned about is the number with the x. So I'm going to start by taking this 9x, and it's positive. So when it comes across the equal sign, it becomes negative. And again, that's the same as if you subtract 9x and subtract 9x. Again, I'm not concerned about these other numbers right now because I'm only looking for what's the slope of this first equation called m sub 1. Now, to get y by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 11. This means that the slope of my first equation is a negative 9/11. Negative 9/11 is the slope of the first equation. So just like the two examples here, if this is the slope of the first equation, then the slope of my second equation has to be, was negative, make it positive. 9 was on top, it goes to the bottom. 11 was at the bottom, it now goes to the top. This is what I want this slope to end up being. Okay, this is what I want it to become. So remember, I don't worry about the constant or the number that doesn't have an x at this point. Positive ax is going to be moved to the opposite side. It's positive. When it goes across the equal sign, it becomes negative. I'm going to move the paper down here. Moved it across, it became negative, and then divided by 6. So y equals negative a over 6x. This is what I have. This is what I want it to become. So what do I do? All right, so I take what I want it to become. Notice this is a 9. And what I currently have. And I'm going to use cross multiplication to solve this. So 9 times negative a is negative 9a. And 11 times 6 is 66. If you are struggling with your signs and multiplying, dividing, adding, or subtracting, feel free to use a calculator. Then I'm going to divide by negative 9. And before I see if I need to reduce this, let's see if negative 66 over 9 is an answer. Well, I don't see negative 66 over 9 here. That doesn't mean I'm not right, though. If you take your calculator and you type in negative 66 over 9, again, finding this math button on the left-hand side, A will always be highlighted first, or number 1. Press enter in the bottom right-hand corner twice, And now I'm going to look for an answer which is equivalent or equal to it in reduced form. Negative 22 over 3. Option A.